All right, here we go. Let's run through the evens real quick. This is from, well, because it's not completely done at this point. No, not yet. Okay, but I will. All right, so page, here comes Stephen. Thank you for your little, woo! I'll put those in the book. All right, problem number 2. So they gave us a number line, and it went from 2 to 7. And we want to write the compound inequality that goes. I just didn't draw the whole thing. Is that okay? Because we just had to do the evens, right?
Yeah.
My extra credit?
I know this.
I got you. Hang on. So, I think we could say, so some of you would say, okay, this is how you would represent it. What's that called? What kind of notation? Interval notation, okay? Which, if you can do that, for the most part, I think you're solid. Let's answer the question. Write the compound inequality. 2 is less than or equal to x, which is less than 7. S, do you have a question? You got it? Oh, cool.
I did it right.
All right. So both of these answers are correct. I mean, this is interval notation, which is really what we will focus a lot on, but it was asking for what the compound inequality was. Number 4, you can copy these down if you need to. Number 4, number t is less than 5 and greater than 3. So they want us to just graph this, right?
Graph it.
Says less than 5. And then I would say write the sentence as an inequality and graph it. So I'll graph it first and then greater than 3. So less than 5 and greater than 3. Why are they both open dots? Yeah, it doesn't say less than or equal to or greater than or equal to. Okay, so less than 5 and greater than 3. Yep, less than 5, greater than 3. So if we were to write this in interval notation, we could write it to look like that. They're both parentheses because they're just open dot. I could also go 3 is less than x, which is less than 5. And I think that's what they were aiming towards. Sweet. Feeling okay? Looking okay? Excuse me. Problem number 6. A number S that is at least -2. Let's put this on number line. -2, we got 0 here. Oops. I used that one up already. Okay, so number 6 says -6, you got -2. I guess you could put 0 in there if you wanted to. A number that is at least -2 or less than 6. I'd say this has to be a solid dot, this has to be an open dot. So at least -2 or less than, whatever that is. Oh, wait. Right?
Wait, I don't get the or and the and problem.
Yeah.
Well, this is, well, the and, that's an and problem right there. That's an and problem right there.
Wait, so if it's an and, there won't be like a word in between, right?
And you shade together.
No, like I mean, like when you write down a sentence inequality.
You don't put the word and in there.
Okay, so when it's an or, you have to.
Yes.
What do you do about the X's?
Oh, excuse me. All right, so if we were to write this as interval notation, it's going to look like this. Cool. So that's how you write the interval notation of this. If you wanted to write it, you would have x is less than -6 or x is greater than or equal to -2, excuse me. So this is writing the number equation out. This is the interval notation. Okay, solve the inequality, give the interval. So, can we move on?
Yeah.
Because this is going to look more like what you're going to work with later. How many problems is this right here? How many?
Two.
Two. Okay, the center goes with both, right? Yeah.
Okay. Didn't you just subtract 4 from the all 3 sides of the
Uh-huh.
equation?
Uh-huh. Absolutely. And I love that you see it that way. So if you see it that way, please continue to do it. Okay? Let's see. So that's going to be, what, -1 is less than x. And then x is less than or equal to 6. This was put together originally like this. So if I wanted to put these back together, I could put it like this.
Wait, I said and. I just put those two and then I said
And you don't have to put the word. You just put it back together.
and. Do we accept and though?
For today, yes. On a test, no. Okay. All right. And then we wanted the interval notation. So this is going to go -1 to 6 square bracket. That's done. Excuse me. Number 10. Number 10, just by looking at it, it has to be and. The reason I know that is ors come with the word or as part of it. Ands don't have the word and as part of it. So I would separate this into 2. Yes, Esty, you can subtract 8 and divide by 4 on both sides if you wanted to. Let's see. -12, if I were to subtract the 8, divide each side by the -4. So that gives me that. So realize that flipped over because I divided by a negative. Let's see, -4q's, subtract -20, divide by -4.
Where did I get -8
Don't not, no. All right. So I could put these back together, which would look like this. Excuse me. Which is going to be, what I would look at here, sometimes it's hard to comprehend in your head what's going on with that, so flip the whole thing over. So on a number line, you have 3 and 5, and they're shading together. So that means that it's going to be a square bracket at 3, square bracket at 5, done. So that's your interval notation right there.
Apparently I have some absent people.
That could happen. Jared's over here. Right.
We'll put Ashley's in the safe spot.
Well, we know where it's going, right? It's going to the dump.
So what?
Safe spot. It's going to the dump.
Is she not in this class?
Yeah, why didn't she ever come?
She was here yesterday. She sits right there.
She was.
Hey, Rom.
Yeah.
What kind of problem is this one?
This is an or
How do you know that?
because it has an or.
So when I graph it, it shades opposite of each other, right? My answer has the word or as part of it. Excuse me. Gosh, I got a little tickle going. I'm going to subtract 4, so that's -15 is greater than m. And then divide by 2. This kind of is hard to think about in your head, so think about you could flip this over. So think about on a number line what this might look like. -15, -8. I'd have an open dot going this way. Bless you. And I'd have a solid dot shading this way. That's how you know it's or, it's going opposite directions, yeah?
But it doesn't. I put 2 inequalities for it.
Well, I got what you're saying. I was just trying to get us to see what it looked like on a number line.
So we don't have. I didn't know if I was able to.
Yes.
All right, that's the interval notation. That's set up. Feel all right? So that's the evens of the first page. We solid? Can I go quickly through the back page and you pause me if you need me to? Yeah.
For the answer, isn't it squared brackets or negative?
Yeah, square brackets, thank you. Square brackets because it was that sign, right? Thank you, Joe. Going on. I'm going to kind of go quick. Yeah. Then it's a no solution. So it's 20. Did I see a hand up?
No.
Okay. Divide. So that sign flips. And then I'm going to flip this back over so I can look at the way it should graph. Okay, I got that. Do that right? And t is greater than 12. Is that right?
Wait, I did negative 2 and 2.
So every time I get an improper fraction, Rom, I'm going to tell you this. From here on out, I want everything on here to be proper fractions. Good. You ready? Well, I don't know. I haven't got there yet, but let's take a look. So I'm going to just plot this on a number line. Let's see. I have negative 4 here. I know that. And then that's a little bit more than negative 2, isn't it? So negative 12 fifths. Then you have 0 down here. Shh. So open circle going this way. Open circle going this way. What does this appear to be?
Or problem.
An OR problem. How was it represented to us originally?
And
As an AND problem. And I don't know if that was a mistake on the publisher's part, but I think there was a couple others on here that are going to be no solution because AND shades together or shades opposite. If they gave, and I don't know, maybe they just made the problems too fast, I don't know. This is one of the problems that actually came out of the workbook that the district says we need to use.
how is it no solution though?
Okay, do you recognize that it's an OR problem?
Yes.
This up here is represented as an AND problem. An AND problem cannot change to an OR problem. Does that make sense? I'm going to try not to put something like that on the test. Question? What? Yes.
Like next week?
Yes.
Oh god. Early next week or late next week?
Tuesday?
Well, I thought the test was gonna be like today.
Yeah, I thought we were having a test today.
We're not ready.
I was excited.
We're totally ready, Rom.
Don't be ridiculous.
He's being silly. All right, number 16. So this is kind of funny that this problem is conveyed this way because normally this isn't represented in this fashion because we have an AND situation. Okay. Now the reason why, so you might want to think this might be a no solution scenario, but what do you notice about with the middle part, those aren't the same. So that's why they actually went to the AND. These should still shade together. If they don't, if they shade opposite, then it's incorrect. But I'm going to just solve this. What is that, 4? And then n is greater than or equal to negative 4. Is that okay? And then n is greater than 0. So let's take a look at what this looks like on a number line. I have negative 4 here, solid dot, shading this way. And then I got 0 here, open dot, also. Yeah.
I think you wrote it down wrong. It's
Did I
n plus 3 is greater than 8.
Oh, wait, 16.
Yeah, 16.
Oh, that's 8. That's an 8 right here?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. That's what? It's a 5? Oh, okay. So that's a 5? What do you know?
It's in,
It's no solution. Why?
aren't they both going the same way though?
They are.
But I said
So if they go the same way, it's no solution.
So, being that these are both aiming this way, and has to come together. It has to be the in-between. Okay?
So this isn't a or problem then?
No, it's not even an order problem. It's just, I don't know. Perhaps when they were creating this, maybe they wanted that sign to go the opposite way, and then that would have meant to change that to an or, but they didn't. So, because and is always going to be coming together where you have endpoints,
Then what's the definition of or?
or is you have endpoints that are going opposite ways.
So if they're going the same way, it won't count.
Right. So you can't overlap two things. But I can't call it an and problem and then all of a sudden have it going this way. But I can't have it doing this too where they're going to overlap each other.
they can't overlap each other.
Okay, take a look here. Do you notice that if this continues this way, it will overlap a point that can't exist? That's why it does not work. And I know yellow is just fantastic for us to see up on this board. All right, 18. So again, I don't know if that was their motivation having that take place, or if they wrote the problems down incorrectly when they were doing this. I mean, mistakes do happen when you're creating worksheets or tests and whatever. I'm going to use that as and. Is that okay? So 6 going this way. 2.
It's not an end problem, no solution.
Yeah, it's.
Seriously? Okay, now I know how to do it
I know, but okay. Now I want you to think about this. This and this both have to be true. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah.
So no, hang on. Both of those, this and this, have to be true. Make sense? They have to create a true statement. If I were to pick any points, so if I pick, let's say this point right here, say 4. If I take 4 and plug it in here, 4 is greater than 2. That works great. But if I plug it in here, 4 is greater than or equal to 6. That doesn't work. So this region right here can't work for this problem because this and this have to create true statements. So I think, again, we're getting goofy. And I don't know why.
though. In that case, a lot of these problems are no solution.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Yeah, like this one right here.
So number 20, I'm looking at number 20. Number 20's graph looks like this. That's what number 20's graph looks like. Well, what does number 20 say it's supposed to be? And what does that graph convey it as? Yeah, this is an or graph right now, but the original problem said and, so this is no solution. So again, I don't know what they did wrong with these worksheets, but they got goofy. That was
At
20.
least it taught us something.
Okay, 22.
Huh?
At least it taught us something.
That's true.
Yeah, don't mess up on worksheets.
Yeah, don't mess up a worksheet because kids give you a hard time. So this one might work. Number 22, if I just graph this, I have 6 here, open dot, 10 here, closed dot. I want greater than 6, less than 10. Does that work for and?
Yes,
Yes.
it does.
It does. Okay? So this works for it. So this is going to be round and 10, square bracket.
I said that right, but that's because I said all the other ones were I don't know.
They got goofy on the other ones, right? So 24. 24, if I graph it, why is that? They say it's supposed to be and, so they had one of the signs incorrect to make it an and. Being that everything has to work, I can't pick that point and make it work on both of them.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Why can't you just say so from 2 you go to infinity, but you stop at 17? go 7 to
I guess what you're saying, yes, in theory, but it's misrepresenting the graph because we're taking a large chunk of it out that works on one of the things. So how I read these is this and that have to both work. So if I were to take, say, 4, which would be somewhere between 2 and 7, and plug it in there, I have 4 is greater than 2, it works, but 4 is not greater than 7. And because it said x is greater than 2 and x is greater than 7, you have the and in that situation, that means both scenarios have to come out true for what their graph to say. Yeah.
Okay, couldn't you use 8 and say that's greater than 2 and 7?
I agree with what you're saying, but again, when you're looking at this, we are not bound. One of them shouldn't bound the other one. Okay, so x is greater than 7 truly does work for both these scenarios, but x is greater than 2 is part of the solution as well, because they said this and this have to work.
Yeah, 8 works though.
But they're using and. They both, so all the points for both of them.
Oh, it has to be between.
That's why. Man, can get done with this section quick enough. Right, it looks like 26 might actually work. 26, if I graph it, I have it's greater than 6, open dot. And
Less than 0.
No, it doesn't work.
oh, I thought for sure it would work. What kind of graph is it?
Or.
It's shading opposite. What is it telling us that it should be though? And if this was an and, that would mean we shade that region. We're not shading, we're shading opposite region, so. This is goofy. Isn't it amazing? I mean, I honestly don't think they're like, if we're gonna create a worksheet, we're gonna have no solution. Like, this is that kid, I don't know, you might know this kid, and if it's you don't have to say it's you. You ever have a teacher give you a true-false test and say 7 of the answers are true? And there's like, 90 questions. So someone goes through and puts true on everything, going, I got 7 right though. Good job.
Oh, I did that one. No, but she didn't say that 7 were true. I just didn't study.
So you just figured if
And
you
this
go
was in
true,
second grade.
2nd grade.
Yeah. It was like on spelling words.
What do you think? Work?
Hey, it works.
Oh, sweet, we found one that worked.
That's a first.
All right.
Yay! Workful.
Hey, Stephen. Sounds like you and I went to the same train of thought, but I just have a question. On true false, did you used to do this?
Oh, those things.
Oh, I did that.
Yeah,
I swear I did that.
And so it, because teachers are like, no, you mark true. It's like, no, that's how I make my F's. And then, the next problem is this. Okay, Stephen, what's that? It's, I don't know what answer did you get. No, I'm asking you. Well, it's false. No, the answer's true, Stephen. Oh, that's how I make your teeth. Now you told me to make your F's this way, not your teeth.
Yeah, teachers told us if like that happened.
Why
They got wise to it.
You give us 0. Ever since I got
Sorry, my generation is the one that goofed y'all up. I apologize.
Yeah, you guys just feel like change your report card.
Yeah, but now you guys are the teachers.
So?
You should at least let us slide on it.
You can't do that now, it's online.
It's the only reason we learned how to type. Because you could erase the carbon part and then go to the typewriter and find. So you used to have to change, like now you just change the font on the computer. It's all there. But there was a ball that it would spin around and be all letters. So it'd be like, oh, I want Helvetica's font. And so you put that in. And this typewriter ball would, it's amazing how this thing worked. And then there was the one with the typewriter arms. It was actually an arm of every letter. I would go.
I used to have one of those.
Yeah.
When I was like 2. My mom had them actually.
My mom
Now it's like in power school. You gotta.
And then she lets
Like, I can't afford it. Now you're looking for the kid who can hack into everything.
Yeah. No, now you just put an expo marker on the computer screen.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, I would like our parents getting
I don't know.
because I heard someone say that they do.
We get it at the end of the semester.
That's true.
I don't know.
That's
I don't know.
No.
I don't know about that.
I think it's just that semesters. I think it might be just that a grade report is sent home via
Yeah.
email.
Well, you can check your grades at any time.
Yeah.
you want, so it
They
doesn't
sent
matter.
emails every
All right.
And
Yes
you
or
can
no?
check PowerSchool.
Yes.
No.
Okay.
That's confusing.
I put that down, but I wasn't sure.
Wait.
I will tell you that the interval notation to this is this.
30 is even.
2 to 2.
Got it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, I did that. Yes.
Yeah.
Because you can share your grades.
Oh, but I didn't pass. Okay.
I did.
What does that mean though when you look at it?
I'm doing the
What are
interview.
you not including on this number line? 2. So this one totally works. This is a legitimate problem.
I'm like doing the interview.
Wait, you just did. Okay.
Well, 3.5.
So, let's see.
I got
All right.
one wrong on the- I got one wrong on the
Because I didn't count there's no solution, so I just.
That's
I got
okay.
one no solution, right?
All right. I'm going to give you the remainder of the period to do one of two things. I want you to finish the odds on this page. Got it? And if you already got it, sweet, you have less work. And then we have page 57, 58 that I want you to do. There is also a Schoology that, if you'd like, I do have the Chromebooks if you wanted to log into that and work that. So you have 20 minutes. It's your choice. So let me know if you want to get into the Chromebook.